Hello, lovely Year 4s. It's Miss Margaret's here again, and we are on the final Innovate boxes. They are 3 and 4. So you don't need to write this into your books, guys. You're just going to carry on from where we left off on Thursday. Now, I hope you've had a lovely, lovely weekend. Today's lesson, I'm going to try and get it a bit quicker than on Thursdays, because I know that was like half an hour. So I hope that you could do it in 2 blocks. Today, if you want to, and if you think, okay, I'm going to stop here, then please just pause me and then you can come back to me whenever you're ready. Okay, that's the great thing about these videos. So, once again, we are going to start with our learning powers. And today we're persevering. If we find something tricky or we get stuck, we're going to carry on. We're going to be really resilient as well. And we're also collaborating. We're collaborating with your ideas and with these ideas that I've got here, and we're working together. So let's look at the toolkit again, and we're going to start writing. So, lovely Year 4s, this is where we got up to on Thursday. We've ticked off quite a lot, which is lovely to see, of our toolkit. Box 2, we were able to tick off all of them, pretty great. So what you need to do now then is write box 3. And if you'd like to as well, then you can just read through boxes 1 and boxes 2 to remind yourself as to what happened. Now, I've just done that to make this video a little bit quicker. So, we know that we ended on a bit of a cliffhanger. A creature who was awakening from a deep sleep. So, we're going to introduce this very scary dragon. Now I'm going to start off box 3 with a fronted adverbial, all of a sudden. And with a fronted adverbial, I need a comma. All of a sudden, let's say the Vikings. I'm very sorry, you're going to have all the Y's in the screen today, because that's just the setup I've got here at home. All of a sudden, the Vikings were greeted by 2. Let's describe the 2 horrible eyes. Blazing, comma, bloodshot. And I'm sure that that was on our word bank the other day from the expanded noun phrase help sheet. By 2 blazing, bloodshot eyes. And a wide, comma, grotesque. That's a great word. I love the word grotesque. And I like how it's spelled as well. Wide, grotesque head. Now I'm going to use with. An adventurous expanded noun phrase. With horns. Like thrusting. Swords. Love it. That is a pretty horrifying dragon. See if you want to pause the video here, guys, and maybe you could think of some different adjectives to describe your dragon. And then I'm going to just think of the sound that comes out. A low, thunderous, like thunder. A low, thunderous bellow. Much better word. Bellow. And I'm going to use a little bit of parenthesis here. Use some brackets coming from its enormous, I'm using that word bank that I had the other day, enormous vile mouth. Soon followed. So if you didn't pause the video a minute ago, guys, pause it now and see if you can change some of these adjectives that I've included in my writing. You might want to change like thrusting swords. You might think of something else. Now, how are our characters going to react? I am fairly sure at this point there will be some fear. Ah! So I've got speech. Fantastic. Scream stoic. I'm going to have them carry on. My dad has warned me about the, let's say, deadly blood eye dragon. Remember, if it's being spoken, then we need our inverted commas. New speaker, new line. Oh, and do not, that's my contraction. I don't know. Oh, and a homophone. I don't know what we should do. Instead of just saying it, let's say whimpered. Olaf. And you can say desperately. It's a good adverb. So pause the video. I want you to get this written into your books. You might think of a different way of how Olaf said something. You might think of a different, maybe he said something else in yours. So pause the video here. Right, get this one into your books. And then we're going to carry on. Okay. Sorry, more clapping. And lots of wires still. So, I'm going to see if I can think of manipulating a clause. I'm going to start it with a subordinated conjunction. As the children ran towards the narrow entrance. Oh, let's think about this horrible dragon. The beasts, yes, the beasts, huge, razor sharp talons. We had that on our health bank, didn't we? On our word bank. Talons slashed into Annex arm. I think that deserves an exclamation mark. Olaf and Stoic. Remember, capital letters as their proper nouns. Olaf and Stoic both stopped in their tracks. Now, what type of there do I want? Possessive. I want an I. T-H-E-I-R. Stopped in their tracks. What could we add? Stopped in their tracks. How about we can't outrun a dragon. We need to think of a plan. Ellipsis and quick. Cried. So I'm going to finish there. This doesn't need to be capital. This needs to be capital. See, I'm teacher checking even though I'm going through it. Cried Stoic. Okay, we're going to pause here. Get this into your book. Perhaps you could change our subordinated conjunction. Change some of the adjectives. See what you can do. Make sure you include inverted commas for speech and all the different speech rules that we know. So pause the video here and then we'll carry on with box 4. Just as a quick thought, because we're going to start with box 4 in a minute, we need to go through our work and just make sure that we are including, so we've got constructed words because we've got don't. We are using homophones because we had there and there. We've got a fronted adverbial because we've got all of a sudden. We've used speech. We use complex sentences because we've got as. And I brought that, I manipulated that clause because it came at the start. We've got adventurous expanded noun phrase, and we used parenthesis. So we smashed it again on box 3, guys. Great effort. Okay, so we're going to go for box 4, and then we are finished. This won't take too long now, guys, so you're doing really, really well. If you need to, go and have a break, get yourself a drink. You can maybe do 50 star jumps like we always do in Ottery, and then come back down fresh and ready to go again. So, this is where Stoic has just thought of a plan. Or has he? Let's think. We know that he finds a emerald encrusted sword, so I'm going to start with that. Out, another fronted adverbial, out of the corner of his eye. Oops, that's a funny spelling, Miss Margaret. Comma, we need a comma for a fronted adverbial. Olaf, what did he see? He saw a glimmering light. And where was it? It was in a small, let's describe this, small jagged hole. Remember, guys, this is a homophone as well, hole and hole. Hole in the wall of the cave. And then we can reveal what it is. What was it, guys? Do you remember? It was an emerald. You think, if you guys want, you might have a ruby sword. You can have whatever you want. You can be as imaginative. It could be jaded. It could be all sorts. They're made out of jades, everything. Encrusted. Sword. Now I'm going to think with a glowing tip. Almost as if it's hot. As quick as a flash. Another fronted adverbial. Olaf ran to grab it. Bravely ran. Let's add an adverb. Okay, so pause the video, guys. We're on the last few paragraphs for chapter 4 now, so we're nearly there. This is the very end of our story. So pause the video, get this one written in, change parts that you can. Perhaps you want to change this fronted adverbial. Maybe you want to change that you saw a glimmering light, emerald encrusted. It can be completely up to you. So we're collaborating. This is what I've come up with, and then you're going to add your own interesting pieces. Normally we'd be doing this all together. I know it's a bit funny. Okay, let's carry on. What's happening next? Olaf and Anek, I keep saying it differently, sorry, both held their, remember this is possessive, it's their breath as the vicious deadly dragon. Now this is when you can come up with your own description. You can turn back to the page, be resourceful, where we came up with lots of expanded noun phrases to help you with this part. With deadly dragon, with, I'm going to have thin, needle, sharp, teeth, sword, down, homophone, ooh, down, towards Stoic. Feeling, what's going to happen? Feeling brave. So this is a fronted adverbial. Feeling brave. Stoic ducked until, subordinated conjunction, until the dragon was above him. prepositional phrase as well. What happens next? He thrust the sword upwards. Into the dragon's hard, slimy scales. Love it. Hard, slimy scales. And straight into its stomach. And straight. Sorry, Mr. Dragon. Whew. Oh my goodness, I got carried away with that one, didn't I? Love it. Okay, so take a pause here, guys. You can maybe think of some different adjectives, change a subordinated conjunction. Perhaps you can manipulate the position of that clause. Pause here, give that one a go, and then come and join me in a minute. Okay. What happens next? The dragon lets out a deafening, painful roar. What did he do? And collapse on the ground. Okay. I mean, this makes room for a sequel, guys. Is the dragon dead? Who knows? Now let's have. You did it! Correct speech punctuation, remember? Yelled Olaf and Anik. Let's say they said it together in unison. The children hugged and they say and finally felt safe. Oops. Nearly there, folks. A few more sentences, I say. And finally felt safe. They headed back to the village. Through the powerful blizzard. Excited to tell their families of their adventure. Okay, remember this is a homophone there. And let's finally end this. Stoic. So new paragraph. Stoic kept his trusty sword. Oops. I'm going to start that one again. Kept his trusty, much better, his trusty sword for the rest of his life. If, which is a subordinated conjunction, if ever he was in danger, he would think back. Let's say he's being very reflective. He would think back to this moment. And how would it make him feel? It would make him feel brave. So it would give him strength. And it would give him strength. And that's what you guys need. After all this amazing writing, you need lots of strength, don't you? Okay, guys, so for the last part then, what you need to do is pause the video, and write this in your books. You might change the speech, and then I'd like you to write this. And then we're going to go back through our toolkit, and then we're finished. Good effort, guys. So pause here. Sorry about my terrible spelling there. And then join me in a minute. Okay, lovely Ottery. Can we see through all this amazing writing that we've done? Have we got a contraction here? I can't see one. You might be able to see one. If not, you might want to pop one in. But I know that we've got some homophones, frontal adverbial, some speech. We've used a complex sentence. We manipulated those. Adventurous, expanded noun phrase. Did we include parenthesis for box 4? Have we got brackets or an ellipsis? Yes. Oh, no, that's box 3. So you might want to include brackets perhaps. So that is it, lovely Ottery. We have finished our Innovate. Now, I just want to let you know that for our Invent, you are only thinking of your own boxes 1 and 2. Okay, so you're not writing all of this again, but you are writing boxes 1 and 2. So the first paragraph and the second as well. Okay, so boxes 1 and 2. Don't be afraid, we're going to do it step by step together, and you are going to absolutely smash it. So for our plenary, I want you to make sure that you have gone through your toolkit and you've ticked pieces off, and also see if you can spot any year 3-4 spellings. Now you've absolutely smashed it, guys. This is a lot of writing, and I'm really, really proud if you persevered through this. So great effort. I will see you very soon. Take care of yourselves. Well done again. Bye, guys.